Hi guys, welcome back to another video with myself, Crypto Banker SHX. This video is in relation to the connections that Stronghold as a business have acquired and also their utility token which powers StrongholdNET SHX. Just to begin with, I am not a financial advisor and this should not be taken as any financial advice. As always, please do your own research and really make your own mind up about things. But whether you are new to SHX and Stronghold, or whether you are an existing Strongholder, then this should hopefully bring some value to your knowledge in relation to the token and the business. And so, just to kick off, you will be familiar probably with this slide. Tammy Camp is the CEO and co-founder of Stronghold, alongside Sean Bennett, who is the CTO and co-founder as well. And really, these two key figures are powerhouses within the US payment system. And Tammy, she was the head of growth for Stellar, bringing millions of new users onto the Stellar network when it originally launched. Sean has very strong ties to XRP and XLM, Ripple, and the Stellar Foundation. He is actually a judge on the XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, when it comes to funding new projects on the XRPL. And so these two are very much connected to Jed McCaleb, who is the founder of the Stellar Foundation and XLM, the digital currency. And when we begin to then deep dive into the key strategic investors of Stronghold, it becomes quite apparent quite quickly that this isn't, in my opinion, your average crypto project or crypto company. So, as you will see, there's three key figures on here who are all part of the Bankor bank. And this is very important because as we move to a digital world, what is going to begin to happen is that governments have become increasingly involved within this space. And in the US, the Federal Reserve have launched something called FedNow. And if we look at the public site for FedNow, which is the digitalization of payments in the US, and if we scroll down on the settlement agents and liquidity providers to this network, we will see that the Bankor are included within the likes of BNY Mellon, the Central Trust Bank. They are big players, and to be part of this and then to have that investment and association with Stronghold, personally for myself, makes me very confident within one, the future of Stronghold as a business, but also the utility of the SHX token. If we then look at some of the alliances and memberships that Stronghold have acquired over the 5 years since the launch of the SHX token, they are members of the Nacha's Payments Innovation Alliance. So the Nacha Payments Innovation Alliance, is basically the way in which the ACH network is governed. And so ACH governing organization has added Stronghold, which is a virtual payments network creator, to their group, who shape the industry's future. So Stronghold is a financial technology infrastructure company. It has joined that Nacha's Payments Innovation Alliance, which is an influential group of payment industry participants which support the advancements across the automated clearinghouse network, which is known as ACH, within the US, but also worldwide. And so the alliance collaborates with Nacha to really understand and drive and guide innovation that is done through discussion, education, task force, resource sharing, and special initiatives. And so this very much aligns with Stronghold's mission to provide fast, secure, and accessible financial services for all, and really gives Stronghold a voice within the Alliance's focus on removing barriers as the industry evolves, which to me focuses their involvement on regulation and upon Stronghold's virtual payment network in ecosystem, which is known as StrongholdNET, which is powered by the utility token SHX that enables this interoperability between existing and emerging payments technology. And so if we then look at the Nacha website, we will be able to view the network volume and value statistics for the ACH network. And as we scroll down, you'll see that the overall ACH network volume is growing. In fact, it's nearly doubled within the last decade. And so sitting around an initial payments volume of 17.5 billion individual payments going through the network of debit and credits, it has grown in the last 10 years, and we can only see 2022 as a full year. 2023, obviously, we're nearing the end, and so hopefully we should have those annual figures to hand soon. But you'll see that the year-on-year growth of payments is 3%. In terms of total payments, we're touching 30 billion. And that's the number of payments, not the actual value. The dollars transferred in this network last year totaled $76.7 trillion. So if we look and see the volume that this network is servicing in terms of dollars, it's gone from just under 40 trillion to nearly doubling in the last decade to 80. And I think that that figure, given the payments year-on-year growth is 3%, in dollars 5.6%, we will probably witness in 2023 those figures touching around 80 trillion. And so this is why it's very important to really understand that although Stronghold began as a startup in Silicon Valley within the payments industry, their connections to not only the Federal Reserve and FedNow, but also the largest payments indicator in the US, as well as having a voice not only in the US but globally when it comes to this network, is very, very powerful. And some of you might know this, some of you might not, but the actual Stronghold platform since 2019 has been integrated with the Interledger payments protocol. Anyone who is an historic XRP follower will understand the power and the importance of this, because what Stronghold did was they were the first to enable a US dollar real-time payment connector into that Interledger payments protocol. And so what is the Interledger Foundation? It is a modern way to make payments. And so their aim is to increase access to digital financial services by advocating for the adoption of an open source currency network, which is powered by the Interledger protocol, which Stronghold is a part of, to work directly with historically marginalized groups. So, really echoing the mission statement and company goals of Stronghold when it comes to providing financial services and access for all. And so, one of the most powerful pieces for myself was when researching Stronghold as a business and the SHX token, something which I haven't seen anyone really deep dive into in the years that I've been involved within this project, is the Venture Funds Rewards Program. And so, as you'll see, this is the list of venture capital funds who are part of StrongholdNET, who will earn SHX rewards for every dollar they transact through the network. And so if we go through and deep dive into a couple of these, for example, the Homebrew VC, they have a portfolio which is very extensive and impressive. And when you go onto their portfolio, they have a list of clients who they've invested in, a list of organizations which they've placed money in to grow. One of them is Chime. And so just to quickly cover Chime, this is one of the most loved banking apps. It's been covered by the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, the New York Times, USA Today. And if we go down, really what they are is they're sat in the industry where, for example, Revolut sit. And it's very much making payments and banking digital and easy and fast. And when talking, as I say, about things like Bankor being involved with Stronghold, being involved and invested in as strategic investors in the StrongholdNET and SHX, who provides these services, because there's always a bank and an existing financial organization and company who is enabling a lot of the features of these services. And as we go down, and it's usually at the bottom, we'll see that Bankor do provide the banking services for Chime, which I found to be very interesting. But looking at their portfolio of Homebrew, just one of the many venture capital firms that earn SHX as rewards by transacting through StrongholdNET. As we go down, this is a very powerful list, and you'll be able to see the summary of these businesses, who they're invested in, and what they do. And so I'll just scan through this. Chime is there. As I say, these are startups, or really what you should view them as, or as I view them as, the companies of the future. And so it's a very impressive list. And so my view, and this is only my personal opinion, is that when StrongholdNET is enabled, and the reason it is live and does have the features of rewards and DeFi, does have that merchant financing program already live. But the reason why it hasn't gone fully operational is because they are waiting. Stronghold is waiting for that US regulation, for that clear crypto regulatory framework to be released to allow them to really, and borrowing the sort of the saying from the XRP community, to flip the switch. And as you'll see, they have unannounced businesses that they've invested in, which they're about to announce. A private paid group chat, for example, training the future of workforces. It's very exciting to see this this list. As I say, you look at Homebrew here, and then you begin to understand their portfolio, the businesses that they're involved, and it does become very exciting to see because they are incentivized by Stronghold, and they will incentivize the businesses that they're invested in to be a part of StrongholdNET. So if we look at, for example, Plexo Capital, and if we look to see what the Plexo Capital LP network is, so this is investors in the actual venture capital firm, and they include Fortune 100 companies and global institutional investors. So the likes of Google, Intel, Ford Foundation, Cisco, the Home Depot. Have I said that right? I'm not American, so Home Depot? I think so. They are invested within Plexo Capital. So they're shareholders within the VC firm. And from this, then, you look who is involved in the Plexo Capital GP network. And this includes a next generation of franchises in venture capital built by GPs with the judgment, sourcing, and value add to win the privilege of to work with the world's best entrepreneurs at the earliest stages. So these are almost unicorn investors, and they are the first coming into the first rounds of capital funding for these businesses, which some of them, as we know, can grow incredibly fast and reach a huge amount of consumers. And I'm just scrolling down to then the direct investments. So who have they invested in directly? And this list is just so impressive. The likes of Reddit, Epic Games, we all know what's going to happen or likely to happen with the involvement and evolution of the metaverse. And so some of these companies really stand out to me personally. And if we're thinking that the venture capitals list, they own shares within then these groundbreaking businesses, the chances are if they're earning SHX rewards and are incentivized to use the features and the cutting edge technology of StrongholdNET, then the businesses that they've invested in will also be incentivized and almost told in a way to really get involved with Stronghold and StrongholdNet and the SHX token. If we go back to the strategic advisors, just to highlight Dan Rosen, he is the bottom left of the screen, is the co-founder of Commerce Ventures. And so this is another venture capitalist firm who are included in the list of VCs who earn, as I say, and are incentivized to use SHX and StrongholdNet. And if this is the list of the the companies which compromise, they are promising companies who are very much shaping the future of retail, payments, banking, and insurance. They have over 40 companies ranging from early ideas to billion-dollar market leaders. And so as you go down here, some of these will jump out to you. I'll include all of the links from today's video in the description, so you can actually just quickly go into these, have a look, see the connections for yourself, see who's involved. But the last one that I wanted to cover was Craft, because Craft are one of the key VC firms globally. As you will see as we go down this list, Airbnb just by itself is impressive, but these are massive businesses which they have been unicorn investors, or as I say later on, heavily invested in and do have a huge influence over. Meta, I mean, it's it is mind-blowing when you go through some of these lists. Reddit, again, as I say, it's just SpaceX. Like when I went through this list, for me, I was almost blown away by, as I say, the quality and the brands Uber and Twitter, now known as X. So when you have these VCs, as I say, who are now signed to StrongholdNET, who have that rewards program as an incentive to transact through StrongholdNET, and then they have the businesses that they are invested in and have shares in, to me then StrongholdNET looks pretty much like a major player. And this is just my personal opinion through the research that I've done. As I say, I'll include the links. I encourage you to do the same and do your own research. Make up your own mind yourselves. Please don't let anything that I say ever affect or influence you. But from my personal opinion and my experience and expertise within finance, within working with the largest global financial organizations, in the higher echelons, working with the boards of those businesses, this is probably one of the most impressive features of Stronghold and StrongholdNET and the SHX token. Hope you guys have enjoyed this content, and I'll see you on the next one.